She podcast. I'm your host, Lady She. Let me put on my headset so I can hear my sister over here and myself for that much. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming on. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, whatever you call it, on whatever social media platform you are on. We thank you in advance. So tonight, I am excited about this one. I know you're wild, Antonia.
Yes, how long?
It's been some years.
Yes, since elementary school.
Yeah, real talk. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay,
We go way back.
We go way back, not way back. Just way back. Yes.
Way back, yes.
Way back. So I'm excited on tonight. I've watched her as a mom. I watched her transform and transcend. Hello. Hello. To who
Hello.
she is today. So I just know in my heart, in my spirit, that somebody's gonna be like, yo, let me push a little harder. If she could do it, I could do it. Let's go. That's what tonight is for. So with none of the Jesus Christ, help me. Introducing to some and presenting to others, Miss Antonia Dos Santos.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It is such an honor to be sitting next to you tonight.
Thank you.
To talk about my journey in fitness and everything. Hello, everyone. My kids are watching. Hey, guys.
Hey, children. She has dope kids, y'all.
Thank you.
Listen,
she knows them personally.
Dope children come from dope parents.
Hey,
period. Let's go. Let's start with that.
Yes.
Let's start with that.
Yes.
So, just speaking on us knowing each other, the years that we know each other, tell us what's the first thing that comes to mind when somebody says, who's Antonia Dos Santos?
When someone
asks you that. Or am I the first person to ask you that?
No.
Because they're so yay.
Interesting, because I always wonder why people want to know,
Well, we don't want to know. Shoot, we never see. Tell us.
Well, when someone asks who is Antonia, well, first of all, I came here as a refugee from immigrant parents. Well, I was also born in Botswana, in another country. Botswana is in Africa, which is a continent, everyone. It is not a country. Botswana is the country that is in the continent of Africa. And I came here many, many years ago in the early 80s. Grew up in Hempstead. And as a child, I've been introduced to sports, music, and it's molded and shaped me into who I am today. On top of the teachings from my elders, my teachers, my parents, and all the elders around me. So, I mean, for you to know me, you have to sit and talk to me. It's a lot to say.
Yeah, I'm excited. We don't get to all of it. We don't get to some of it, we don't get to some of it, how this person just became this dope. So, when we think about, I've been in Hempstead my whole life. All I know is New York, besides me going away to school and visiting, other places, because I love to learn and see beautiful things.
That's great.
But when you think of being from Africa, like, it just seems so far.
It is.
Removed. You know what I'm saying? So, as a young child coming here, first of all, let me ask this. What made your parents come here? If you can share that, if that's okay, share that.
Yes. It was a civil war in their country, in Angola. Civil war in their country in Angola that started, I think, in the early 70s. And so they became refugees fleeing the war. So when they were in a refugee camp in my country, in Botswana, there were refugee camps in other countries too, including South Africa. So when they came to my country, that's where I was born, obviously. And so they visited. They had London, an embassy from London was there, embassy from America was there. And funny enough, my father told me this story. He said that him and a few of his friends were wondering, where should we go?
Right.
For refuge, away from the war.
Away.
Let's go to America. We hear they start you off with a house and a car. No lie. No lie. And this is
I need to go to that America. It's the other America? Like,
the other? Which one are you talking about?
I haven't seen that one yet.
So I said, what? Daddy, really? You thought that? He said, well, they were young and naive. Yeah. And that is the image of America in other countries. Wow. Now think about the image that Africa has in America. Mm-hmm. What do you think about? Mm-hmm. Come on, growing up in Hempstead.
What do we think about?
Listen now. I'm about to take it back. People used to call me an African booty scratcher.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
That was a thing for dark-skinned kids. You know what I'm saying? And people used to think that we all lived in huts and just dirt roads everywhere. I mean, granted,
eating like manor, porridge type stuff.
Well, yeah, granted, yes, but every country has its poor.
That's a fact,
right? Mm-hmm. America has its poor, right? So yes, that does exist there, but there's also a lot of
Africa's rich.
A lot of wealth.
There's
there
riches
too.
And wealth there. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I just have to get that across.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
And my aunties, my cousins and my aunts, they live there now.
They're still there.
Yes, they're still there. They live in South Africa now, and they're living it up.
I bet
they're looking better than me.
Listen, I don't know. I ain't being dramatic right now, but there's a show called what's it called? It's called and I watched the show. It's almost like a Love and Hip Hop ish, but in Africa.
Oh, really?
They're all wealthy, not just them coming up. They're all wealthy, and they're all sharing what they do and their stories and their love life and stuff like that.
Where they from? Nigeria? A lot of wealth over there.
Not all of them. Because I think there was a thing with that, like people assuming Nigerians were a certain way.
Yeah.
So that even that was educational for me. They were like kind of tapping into certain things about what America thinks of certain areas in Africa and not so much. Right. So it was pretty cool. I wish you could think of the show right now. My beautician knows the show too, because me and her were the only ones like, oh my God, you watch it?
It'll come back to you.
Crazy.
It'll come back to you
as
soon as you hit off.
Season 2, because it was so dope. The show was so dope. But they were all wealthy, entrepreneurs, parents. It was really cool. It was really
One thing cool. About I came here when I was around like less than 2 years old, so I don't even remember anything. Right. But I was raised by African parents, right? So one thing that they definitely instill in us is education. Yeah, that's huge. Right, that's huge. That you could be rich or poor. Education is instilled because that's the key. Right, and it's true. My father still teaches me things to this day. I call him for advice for certain things. And when I take his advice, he's always right.
I love him.
I love my
dad.
We
love you, Dad.
Love you, Dad.
Dad, we love to see it. You know? Shoot. It's real dads out here. How about that? Yes. So now, refugee, probably hearing so many stories. Like, I love hearing stories.
Oh, forget it.
As you can see. Love hearing stories. So listen to your mom, your dad. What was that like for your mom, having to come here? It must have been like a culture shock for her.
It's devastating.
Well.
It was devastating. Yeah. She still has certain issues about it, which so do a lot of us that came. Because it wasn't just us. It was a lot of us that came. We came in groups. Right. So I called them my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and they live in Philadelphia, Connecticut. They're dispersed throughout the states. We grew up together, calling each other cousins. But yeah, it was devastating for everyone, so it was hard because she got separated from her parents when she was a very little girl, not even teenage years. Wow. So she had siblings. I never met them. I don't even know who they are. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. You hear stories about, let's say, like the genocide in Rwanda, right? And you hear these terrible stories. It's real out there. Real. Even the war going on right now, in Ukraine. Yeah. People have their feelings about it. But it triggers something in me. Yeah. It triggers something. I told my dad. I say that triggers the stories you told me of what y'all had to go through. It's like real stuff. Yeah, it's real. Real stuff that unless you ask me, I won't say, but it's some real things, and it's things that he still hasn't told me. Like, I'm still learning. Yeah. Like, wow, Dad, you never told me this one. And some stuff probably he probably has to press until something happens that kind of brings it back. Yeah. Kind of triggers. Yeah. Because the mind is amazing. Mm-hmm. The mind will have you literally like put things behind it. Suppressed. Something happened. Yeah, suppressed. Yeah. You almost forgot. Yeah. But it's in the memory bank. And then something triggers it and boom, like, oh. For sure. Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Wow. Listen, thank you for sharing that. For sure. Yeah, no problem. Listen, y'all gotta research, learn some things and stop just saying stuff on social media. I'm telling you. Sometimes. Real talk. Let's keep it buck. Sometimes you're saying stuff and you're not educating yourself. Take out time to read and educate yourself. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So now you're in Hempstead. What made you come to Hempstead? Was this the first place they came to? Technically, no. We moved to Queens first. Okay. We were sponsored by a Catholic church in Mineola. Okay. I'm part Portuguese as well. That's why my last name is Dos Santos. Okay. So my dad's side, my father's side, his lineage is from Portugal. Wow. Oddly enough, or whatever, the church that sponsored us in Mineola were also Portuguese. Right. So naturally,
God, divine connections, man. I love it.
Naturally, we came here with green cards. We came here with Social Security cards. We were set.
Yeah.
And then we came, and then we stayed with family in Queens for 3 months illegally because subletting it wasn't allowed.
Right.
So then we came straight to Hempstead after that. We've been here. We've been in Hempstead ever since until we started going to college, and that was our life.
And you have a sibling. You have a sister.
2 siblings.
You have 2 sisters?
No, my brother is so quiet. For those who know him, he's so
quiet. We don't know he exists.
His nickname is Speechless. I am not even quiet.
Good night. Is he older?
No, he's in the middle. I'm the oldest.
He's in the middle?
Yes, I'm the oldest. They were born in the States.
They were born here.
Yes, they were born here.
Still quiet.
Yep. He's quiet.
I'm joking.
He is quiet.
Wow.
And then my youngest sister, yes, and she's 4 years younger than I.
Right.
And my brother is 1.5 years younger than I am.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to the brother.
John.
We see you. We may not hear you, but we see you, John. No, I was kidding. That's so dope.
Right.
So it's 3 of you. So now, growing up in Hempstead, you emphasize that your parents were big on, education. So when you say big on, does that mean like there was like restrictions? Were you like shelter? What was that like growing up?
No. Well, my parents are very young.
Okay.
My mom had me when she was 15 going on 16.
Wow.
I was 10 pounds too. No epidural. Shout out to my mom, y'all.
Okay, shout out to mom. Don't need nothing on her back. She's like, listen, we got this.
Shout out to mom. And my dad was 19 when I was born. So when we came here, it was like roughly 2 years later. So they were young. So we all grew up together. Right. You understand? Wow. So my dad, he's not the typical, stereotypical African parent where it's very strict. You can't do this, you can't do that. No.
Okay.
What he did to us was talk.
Love that.
A lot of lectures. Oh my God, the lectures.
Was he like a big reader? Did he read?
He read, but he worked a lot. Okay. He sacrificed.
What did he do?
He worked at Fortune Offs for a long time.
Wow, Fortune Offs.
Now, my dad is a very good. He's very good with sketching. He's very good with drawing. So if I can recall, I remember him trying to go to school as an architect back in the 80s. Wow. But because we were here and everything, he couldn't do it. So he sacrificed his life dream for us. But then that came. But you know what? That came into fruition because now I'm the first. I was the first to own a house. I'm the first to own a car. I'm the first to graduate college in my immediate family. So then my brother followed suit, and then my sister. You understand? So
come on,
all of that sacrifice that they made for us paid off.
Love this.
And it's still paying off because now I'm doing, and I'm still trying to do more. You understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
To generate wealth within the family. Absolutely. So I definitely appreciate everything that they sacrificed. So yeah, he wasn't too strict. He just talked a lot, more so my dad. My mom was just, because they're kind of traditional too. She was more like cooking, and she worked too though, and nurturing us and stuff. Do? She worked at Friendly's.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, Friendly's still around too, baby.
Yep. The same one on Hempstead
Turnpike.
Yep.
Wow.
That's where she worked.
Love that. So
yeah, we weren't rich at all. You know what I'm saying? We were poor, struggling, coming up, but we didn't feel it.
You were educated.
We didn't feel it. We had a Nintendo. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the cartridges. Okay,
word
about that. For real. Now it works. Wow.
Seriously.
That is cool.
But my dad is very intelligent, and I respect him tremendously. So. We didn't feel the poverty. You know what I'm saying? We didn't feel it. I knew it, but I didn't really feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel shame or anything like that. But he just talked to us a lot. He spoke to us about how important education was, stay in school. And lucky for him, we're all pretty smart. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't really have to put his foot on our necks like that. You know what I'm saying?
Working another job for a tutor.
I'm telling you.
Got you.
So we would just come home. He'll help me with school projects. Like he was very involved. My mom was very helpful. Yeah. So yeah. So he wasn't too strict.
I love that. Because let me say this. And sometimes, we throw out the word strict. We throw out the word sheltered. Not understanding that our parents, a lot of times, they give us what they feel we need.
Yes.
There's no manual to parenthood.
Nope.
You understand what I'm saying? So parents, give yourself grace. You know, when you feeling like, oh, my child turned out like this because I did this. You did what you knew how to do.
Yeah, sometimes that is the case.
Yeah,
it is the case. And then don't be afraid to reach out to the village.
The facts.
You understand? Because that's very important.
Yeah.
I always call my dad if I'm in the rut.
Yeah.
There's been times, Damon, I had to shake your hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? Let me shake this hand to the phone and let me call my dad.
Let me save your life real quick.
I'm telling you.
Because hello,
Damon.
Nah, she got great kids. She got great kids.
So yeah, but it's not easy, you know.
Yeah,
I have 4 children, you know, and it's a lot to juggle. It's a lot to.
We're gonna tap into that.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
So now, growing up in Hempstead, you have dope parents. Clearly, you know, parents who talk to their kids are amazing parents. So you're in this environment where you're told education is what's important. So now you making it through which elementary school did you go to?
Jackson Annex first. Jackson, the main university. Let me put that out there. The main university. Shout out to Mr. Curry, R.I.P.
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
R.I.P. Wow.
Yep.
I watched something the other day. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So middle school.
Yeah, Hempstead Middle School, ABGS.
It was called ABGS by then.
Schultz.
Yeah, it was called ABGS Schultz by then.
ABG Schultz.
And then the high school. So now, where did track come in at? Where did sports come in at?
So, I was introduced to basketball with Miss Myers.
Miss Myers?
In elementary school. She passed away, I believe. Yeah.
I think it was Myers.
I remember seeing, because I followed the Jackson Annex group. Yeah, with Mr. Dunkley. Hey, Mr. Dunkley.
Hi, Mr. Dunkley. Oh, wow, Miss Myers.
So yeah, but I was introduced to basketball when actually let me say, my dad was a great soccer player back home in Angola.
They call it football there though.
Yes,
right?
It's football.
Yes, football. I knew that.
Football, yes.
Give me my props.
And I was introduced to soccer first as a kid when we were little, and I remember him having little makeshift goalies and stuff, and we were playing in Jackson Annex.
The grass.
The grass, yeah.
Love that.
Because we lived right across the street, was on Jackson Street.
Right.
Shout out to the Heights.
Wow. So you were introduced to football first.
And then basketball. By middle school, that's when I started playing basketball more. Okay. And I was running track a little bit then. Mm-hmm. But I was also in music. I was also involved in instruments. I played the violin in 6th grade. He was in the Glee Club, Mr. Dunkley.
Glee Club.
So I was involved in a lot of different things voluntarily.
Yeah.
I just was like, oh, I'll sign up for this. Oh, I'll sign up for that as a kid. Yeah. This is me, you know?
I love that.
So by the time I came to high school, I didn't run track anymore. I wasn't playing basketball. Oh, yeah, as a freshman, I played. And then he put me on varsity, but I was trash. I wasn't. Yeah, I mean, on JV I played, but I didn't understand the game until after, like in college. That's when I understood that my IQ went up, you know.
Right. The exposure.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, but running track, I didn't start running track till 11th grade.
Wow, and you just went in. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Because all those other years, I played in the marching band. I was playing the marching band since elementary school, all throughout high school. You know, I was playing the flute and the violin. So I was in music a lot and certain group of programs and groups in school clubs. I mean, I was working and so I didn't run track until 11th grade. So you stayed
busy.
Yeah, I was always busy.
You think that's what kept you out of stuff? Being so busy?
I mean,
did you get into stuff?
I used to fight a lot. I mean,
did you get into stuff? Let me not assume, dang on it.
Well,
why would you be fighting?
Well,
I know I was getting this way.
Well, you know.
Because people talking about you?
People, you know, they just, I was always on defense. You know what I'm saying? I don't like bullies.
I love that you own that.
Yeah, I was always on.
That says a lot. I love that you own that because some people they always make it look like it's somebody else's problem when you actually do have a chip on your shoulder. I love that you actually said that.
But, you know, I have a bad temper. That's what it is. And as soon as somebody say something or look at me or some certain type of way, I'm like, what? I don't even talk. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? But thank God.
You passed that.
I didn't get into too much trouble because I did
gotcha.
at one point, and that made me turn all the way around.
Right.
But I was always into my books,
Mhm.
and I'll never forget the day. I was about 15 years old. I got arrested. My dad told me, he sat me down, and I put him through a lot at that time. We didn't have a car.
Right.
We had to go to family court because it is,
Yeah, word.
So he sat me down. He said, Antonia, in his thick accent, Antonia, the friends you have today will not be the friends you have tomorrow.
Come on, Dad.
Okay? You doing things because of your friends, association or whatever. You trying to prove that you're bad. He said, you have a bad temper, and I saw it since you were a kid.
Wow.
And he's just telling me this at 15. I'm like, well, why you didn't tell me that at
Man, you're reading books, man. We're supposed to be getting to this anger.
You're supposed to help me out.
Wow.
But I'll never forget those words. And I did a 180 because I was always smart, but I had a bad temper. You know, I mean, no one's perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I wasn't out there looking for trouble, but I wasn't being smart about it either. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be anything, and I'll just use that as a catalyst. Like, all right, because I just want, you know what I'm saying? So, but
that was a bar. Y'all better catch that. Listen, sometimes you don't know you have triggers, you don't know you got issues until somebody else tells you.
And you know what? Talking about triggers and issues, and this is for everybody. We all have certain hang-ups. We all have certain vices. We all have certain triggers. I still have a really bad temper. But guess what? It's a daily effort that I put. Daily effort, because those things don't just go away because this is a part of who you are. You know, so you have to take it into account. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to be mindful. You have to be conscious of it so that you can try to control that. Right. You know, and not control it and suppress it because then that'll blow you up. But in a way where you can redirect that energy. You understand? So when I'm at work, or if I'm somewhere and I know I won't get along with X, Y, and Z, or A, B, and C, guess what I'm doing? Clear. I'm moving around. I'm staying professional. I'm keeping it professional. I'm moving around because I know how I am. Right. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. So it's like, yo, you see me as a nice, goofy, happy-go-lucky person, keep that. Yeah, let's keep that same energy. Yeah, keep that. Let's keep it there. Respectfully, let's keep it there. Yeah, let's keep it there. Love that. No, that was awesome because some people are not aware. It's becoming, some have made it normal that you respond a certain way and not so much. People don't have to deal with your nasty. You know what I'm saying? Right. So people need to learn that, you know, how you address and how you deal with things is not working. Maybe you should start looking on the inside to even find out where that's coming from. Right. You know what I'm saying? Really, really find out where that's coming from. You know, thank you for sharing that. So now 11th grade, you going in, you end up with a scholarship. Yes. Tell us about that. Well, shout out to Coach Raffington. That's my guy. Sorry. My sneeze will come out. So running as a junior, first of all, we put Hempstead back in the map. Shout out to my 4x1 team. Because let's say Davina Griffin, all right? Davina. Nah. The Hempstead women's track team wasn't popping since the 80s. Ooh. And we put it back in what was that, 97, I think it was? Come on in here. Our 4x1 team made all county. Even though my name is spelled wrong, but it's up there on that flag. We're going to need somebody to fix that. I'm telling you. I love that. So we went to national championships. Yeah, Antonia, senior. I'm telling you,
Let's go.
We had a blast. And if it wasn't for Coach Raffington and Senior Lions, he's the one who started me. He recruited me as a junior. And then, how did he know? I don't know. He just saw me. You're tall. Hey. I'm about to say the height. You're tall. Okay. Oh, you like the long legs? Come, join the team. Come join the team. Yeah, you know that. And then you got the guys on there. It was Brendan Lucas, McCasey, Frank. Who else was running track? Wow. So I love that. And I'm cool with them. You know what I'm saying? So it was just natural. Like, all right, let's go run track. Yeah. So that was a family. Yep, I'm going to Keisha's wedding. With Keisha, she was on the 4x1 team. Davina, Danisha, and me. Love that. Yep. So you get a scholarship, and then where do you go? I went to NYIT, New York Institute of Technology. That was a D2 school, so it's a half scholarship. So they just paid for tuition. Okay. Now the only thing is, I lost that scholarship. The reason why is because I was not educated on the rules and regulations for the NCAA.
Okay.
So now the rules and regulations of NCAA.
Tell me what that is.
Yes, NCAA is the National College Association. I forget. For sports in college.
It's the big wigs who make the rules.
How many times do we say things that we don't really know what they stand for, but we know what they are? Exactly. Come on, and I'm on the hot mic right now. I'm a little nervous. All right. Charge my mind, not my heart. All right.
Right. So not being educated.
Yes, on the rules and regulations. So as a freshman on a scholarship from NCAA, as a freshman on a scholarship, you have to maintain 30 credits, 30 semester credits per year. No, 1 year for the first year.
First year, okay.
For the first year, you have to have 30.
Yeah,
for the freshman year, you have to have 30 credits and maintain a GPA of, I think it was 2.7 at the time. Okay. So now I had a 3.5 at the time. Oh, I'm good. So all they told me, my coach was telling me, just pass 2.7, 2.7. At the end of the first year, I had a 3.5.
Right.
So I'm thinking I'm good, but guess what? I dropped one of my classes.
Ooh. Wow.
Sis, I was on the curb. When I found out that I lost I didn't even know until let me see, the semester.
With somebody with like a pill.
Yeah, the semester was over in May? Yeah. I didn't know until August.
So you think you good that whole time? Oh,
I didn't know until August. So I lost my scholarship that way because I dropped the course. So I didn't have full 30 credits. I thought I was good because I had 12 credits.
Right.
And I was still considered full time.
Right.
No. Wow. Have to have 30 credits for the first year. Then after that, you can drop down a little bit. Yeah.
Oh man.
Still gotta be full time though. Yeah. So that's how I lost the scholarship.
So did you continue? Did you stay there, or what was next after you?
No, after that, see, all right. So
was that like real devastation?
I sat on the curb. I started crying immediately.
Yeah.
Called my coach. My coach called any class to see if they could just fit me, summer class, to see if they could just throw me in there. Everything was closed because it was already August.
Oh, I hate that.
Then I called my dad. He was the first person I called. I was like, Daddy, I messed up.
But not on purpose.
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if he remembers that. But yeah, I said, Dad, I messed up. So he told me, calm down. Don't worry about it. You're still going to do good. Don't worry about it. Don't quit school. Do what you have to do. Right. So then after that,
Dad with the bars.
I'm telling you, he's so encouraging.
I should do.
So after that,
phenomenal.
So after that, I went to Hofstra and I applied for athletic training.
Okay.
And coincidentally enough, I don't know, this lady came out of nowhere. She saw me there. She was like, "Oh, what are you applying for?" I said, "Oh, athletic training." She was from the academic program for physical therapy assistant at National Community College.
Wow.
So she said, wait a minute, the job demand for athletic training is not that great. You either got to know somebody or you got to wait for somebody to die to get a job. She kept it real. She said, think about it. She said, you may not know this, but there's only one athletic trainer per school district.
Right.
For public school, like K through 12. Mm-hmm. And then she said, and this is at that time, I don't know if it's changed now. And then she said, but for college, there's what, 2 maybe? So you got to think about that.
Yeah, she
said, now mind you, when I was a junior in high school, physical therapy was already in my mind because of my sis Renee Garrison. What up, Renee? I told her we would study for PSATs. Oh, and we were talking about what school we were going to. We were geeks.
Right.
Oh, I love being a nerd. I don't care. I'm a nerd.
Shout out to the nerds.
Shout out to the nerds
out here. That's right.
Because
the nerds is winning.
We were in advanced classes since we were in elementary school. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we were talking about what school we were going to with college. And then I said, I'm not going to college. I'm going to the Navy.
Oh, wow.
She said, no, you're going to get killed. Because it was a few years after the Persian Gulf War.
Yeah.
No, you're going to get killed. So she's the one. She was like, do physical therapy because you like sports.
Love her.
So I said, all right. She's a physical therapist too.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's what put it in my mind. So when I went to NYT, they didn't have an accredited program, so I went into sports psychology.
Okay.
But then when I lost a scholarship, I went to Hofstra, athletic training. Got accepted. Saw that lady.
And at home.
Yes. Saw the lady. Mm-hmm. She put me on the PT, and I was like, oh, PTA. And I said, okay. So she told me about the PT program and this and that and the job demand. And I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been a physical therapist for 20 years.
Listen, that scholarship being taken away was God, honey.
I'm telling you, and it was cheaper.
Yeah.
Hofstra was at the time, I think it was like $600 a credit or something like that.
Wow.
NASA was $110 a credit.
Right. Facts.
And it was an awesome program.
Same instructors. I wish people would understand.
I'm telling
you hear Nassau Community College, you shouldn't be downing it like, oh my gosh,
that's one of the best community colleges.
The best community colleges in the country. Like, y'all better step y'all game up.
And I graduated in my class with a 4.0. Sorry.
Yeah. Hello. She said, I just want to throw
that in there. The
brains.
The brains.
The beauty of the brains for me. That's what she basically said. Shots fired. I love it. So, 20 years in a field that you actually wanted to go into.
Yes.
What does that feel like every day?
Oh, I love it. I have fun. If anybody chimed in for my job, I have fun at work. What? I have fun with my coworkers. I have fun with my patients. And most of all, I have a great time educating my patients.
Yes, love that.
Because I love to do that.
Because you're father.
If I wasn't
your parents,
a therapist,
leave your mom out.
Yeah. If I wasn't a therapist, I'd been a teacher.
Right.
Because I love to teach.
Love that.
If you're receptive.
Right.
Because I'm not beating your head if you're not receptive. Yeah. I'm not doing that. Sorry.
Love it.
I'll move on to the next who's eager to learn.
Exactly. Oh, come on with the bars. So 20 years in the game was called that. 20 years in the game of physical therapy. How did you find your job?
Well, I've been in this I've been in this company for over 10 years. And like in the field, there's so many different things you can do and get into. I've been working for skilled nursing facilities, aka nursing homes, rehab centers, for most of my career.
Well, that must be so refreshing.
Yeah, for most of my, I worked with kids. Yeah. That was tough. I've worked with
Why was it tough?
Oh man, the first day I saw a 2-year-old have a grand mal seizure, wipe her out. I cried the first day. It was tough. A lot of paperwork. Woo!
That's hard. My son has seizures, so I know you probably like.
Yes.
You probably like the ugly cry. That's
it was because I worked with kids with cerebral palsy, developmental delays, autism. I worked with the whole shebang, you know. And then we worked with the occupational therapists where we did obstacle courses for them because they're kids, so to strengthen certain things. You understand, right? The motor skills, right?
You know, just trying to help tell them,
right? The motor skills, to strengthen their motor skills and stuff if they have certain weaknesses in certain areas. So that was what we did. But I only lasted there for like 3 months.
You were gonna be sad. You were gonna be sad.
I was like, a
You get attached and be like, oh my God, this happened today.
Oh no, that was tough. Yeah. But very rewarding. But physical therapy in the whole is a very rewarding career. It truly is.
Love that.
So, but I've been in the where I work now. The management company owns about 11 buildings throughout Long Island. Okay. And so I worked in like 4 buildings so far. So the one I'm at now, I've been there for over 2 years because it's closer to my house out east. Yeah. Let's
go. No excuses. Get them jobs.
Yep.
Okay, get them jobs. Yep. So physical therapy for 20 years. Okay. How do I go into this? You're a mom. What's that like?
What's it like?
What is that like?
It's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you this: everybody's not meant to be a parent.
Oh, that's a fact. Right.
No, not at all.
That's a fact.
Everybody is not meant to be a parent, and I feel bad for those kids who have negligent parents.
Yes.
Because you have to give your kids your all. If they don't come first in your life, you don't deserve that.
Some people are too selfish to have kids.
That's what it is. It's selfishness.
Selfish to have children.
Once I had Damon, my firstborn, he'll be 15 next week.
Can't believe it. 15. Damon's not playing.
I'm telling you.
Good God.
Once I had Damon, going out, stop. And I was 25 years old. Mm-hmm. Going out, stop. Mm-hmm. My friends would go on trips. They would go here. Mm-hmm. One of them went back home to my country. I was like,
It was tunnel vision. It was tunnel vision.
Why? Because, first of all, no offense to anyone in my family or in his family, I just don't trust anybody but me. Yeah. No one is going to love and nurture your child the way you will, the way their parents will.
Right.
You understand? So I just sacrificed all of that stuff for me to just be there for him. He might have spent the night out once with his late grandmother. That's it.
Wow.
When he was a baby.
Goodness,
Yeah. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, I just couldn't trust it. You know, I'm just one of those parents. I just couldn't do it. Right. And I see others do it, but God bless them. And then, teach his own. And then also, my parents are young, like I said. They're full-time workers to this day.
Right.
They haven't retired yet.
Right.
So I didn't have that luxury, quote unquote. Right. I didn't have that time and leisure. You know what I'm saying? So my devotion was to my kids from day one.
Day one. Gotcha. So you got Damon, and then who?
Brian.
And Brian is into instruments, right?
Yes, he plays the clarinet.
Look at that.
Yep. And it's funny because I never played the clarinet.
Okay.
He came home one day with his clarinet and he said, "Mom, it's not working right." So I said, "Blow into it." It sounded like it just wasn't.
Yeah.
So I said, I put my thinking brain. I said, "Wait a minute, let me look at it." I fixed his reed.
Okay.
I remembered.
Yeah, come on, let's let them go away.
I said,
it kicked right in.
I made sure everything was nice and
blood.
connected. All right, try now.
That must have been such a good moment for him.
He looked at me like,
"You
know
know,
clarinet."
like my mom's official.
I was like this.
Yeah, son, let's go, blow that thing. Play me something. Like,
For
that's
real.
freaking dope. He must have felt so good. I felt good just now.
Yep.
That's so cool. So then you have
Anthony.
Now,
What's Anthony like? Anthony and Brian are my wild child. Sometimes you're only blessed. Sometimes you're blessed with one. I was blessed with two.
What's that mean?
They're all over the place.
What's that mean, though?
They can't sit still.
Oh, okay.
Now Brian's calming down.
Into different things.
No, they can't sit still. They're always talking. They're always playing around. But both of them, especially Anthony, very affectionate, very lovable. He'll come and he's the one laying on my thigh. Oh. We watched the movie last night, me and the boys, the older boys, and they're laying on me, you know. So Anthony's but he's only 5, right? So I gotta give him time, like Brian. Yeah, because he was that age. Yeah. Aunt Vicky remembers. Yeah.
I'm like, Brian ain't messing with us, man. Damon, go ahead and run. Brian ain't messing with us.
Damon is my mature, responsible one. Mm-hmm. Brian is in his own world. Mm-hmm. Anthony is just on go. And then my baby girl, Imani. Oh. She's 3. She's 3 years old. So fast. Yeah, she's 3 years old. She'll be 4 in September. Okay. And I forget, you know, when you have multiple kids like that, every kid is in a different phase. Yeah. Right? So your first one is your first teacher, right? So you're like trying to figure things out, and you're yelling at him for this and yelling at him for that. By the time the second one comes, you're like, oh, that's nothing. You know what I mean? Now the fourth one, she's in her treacherous 3s. Oh, not treacherous. They done changed the name from trouble 2s to terrible 2s. Terrible 2s to treacherous 3s. Treacherous is serious. Now when I had Brian, I remembered stuff, so I was more patient. Mm-hmm. I forgot by Imani. I'm like, why is she acting like this? And I'm like, she's like, I started all the way. Because I'll tell her, no, Imani. She'll just be like, girl, good night. No, seriously. And she'll just, I'm like, girl, I'll look up. I just told you no. She'll look at me like this. And she's the only girl, so I'm like, that's my baby though. Yeah, that's my baby. Only girl. Mm-hmm. So now, I know you said earlier, you said you were the first to own your own home. You were the first to finish college. Yes. You said something else. You were the first. It was 3 firsts. Oh, to own a car. To own a car. Yes. So now, when did you become a homeowner? And is it just you, or is it you and yes, it's just with now? Yes, it's just me. And like what had you say, I want to own a home? Because you already had Damon, correct? Yes, I had Damon. I had all 4. Oh, this is recent. Baby girl came. Now before I had Imani, sorry, I was already thinking about it. I said, you know what? I can't rent anymore. But you're with who, Fredo? Yes. Yeah. That's what I was asking you. I said, did you do by yourself or? He helped out in certain ways. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he
I mean, you
helped
were
out in certain ways.
with someone.
Yes.
So it had to be
Yeah,
a conversation.
we were, yeah.
So we want to get a home.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
But yeah, I can't really go into the specifics of things. You know what I'm saying? But yes, he did help in his ways.
Okay.
We did discuss it together.
Right.
Yes. But unfortunately, I was the only one who was able to get on that.
Got you. No, that not to put your business out there.
I understand.
Let me just help people out.
It happens.
So yes, and
yes,
sometimes it's not any fault of the other. It just sometimes that's just how it kind of hands out in reference to paperwork, credit, and stuff
credit
like
score.
That. Yeah. Sometimes
longevity.
it benefits better for one person.
Yeah. Longevity at the job.
Not taking nothing away from you.
Right.
Okay?
So yeah, I was discussing it. Actually, I have friends already who are homeowners already.
Right.
So I was conversing with them.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, you can do it, Tone.
Yes,
you can do it, Tone. You can do it, Tone.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like in my 30s. Now, my goal was to own a home at 35.
Right.
By the time I owned my home, I was 36.
Right. Boop.
So, and it's a starter home because it's small.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I said I'm still working towards bigger and better.
Right.
You know, trying to get something really big.
Yeah.
So my parents don't have to be in a nursing home and that type of jazz. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, speak that.
Seriously.
Speak that.
Seriously.
Speak that. That just did something to me.
Yes.
Speak that.
Yes.
Speak that. I got that.
I want to keep them home. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely. You want to be able to have them for them to have an option.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
and not be feeling some type of way when you get to that point. You know, God forbid you get to that point.
Right.
You want to be able to say, I'm equipped. Let's go.
Right.
Y'all come in here.
Yep.
Whoever need to come in and assist while I'm working, we got you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So thank you so much for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
So homeowner, you have your 4 children. Excuse me. Now, your last daughter, wait, what's the ages again? What is it, 15?
Almost 15, almost 12, 5 and a half, 3 and a half.
5 and a half, 3 and a half. Okay. Now, the dynamics now that you do have a dad in the home.
Yes.
So what has that been like actually being in a relationship where all of your children have a solid situation? Like they have a male figure in the home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what has that been like connected to other things that you have?
Well, first and foremost, it's a blended family.
Okay.
Which means that my eldest boys, they have their own fathers.
Right.
So like any other family dynamic, it's hard. You know, it's hard to boundaries, rules,
right,
respect.
Yeah.
You understand? And I always instill in my kids, I don't care if he's not your father. You still have to respect him as a man, as a male figure, as a man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what's going on. You still have to show respect, you know? So it's a lot of things that a lot of like discussions and things that we have to talk about as a family as a whole or individually, or okay, you guys have to talk now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of
you got something y'all
got something
going on.
Yes, y'all gotta go and speak.
Let's handle
you know
that.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Handle that.
I'm not involved.
Right. You know, and then also dealing with their fathers, you know, so it's like it's blended. Everybody has to kind of be on the same page. Right. Or if you're not on the same page, have some respect. Right? Mm-hmm. Respect each other. Mm-hmm. And just let it be about the child.
The child. That's the one. Let it be about the child.
Make it about the child.
Yeah.
Don't let it be. Yeah. Make it about the child. Right. Because that's the most important thing. Right. You know. So all those other things going on,
it's null and void.
Should not interfere. Right. If you jealous, if you still got feelings for me or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. If we're not getting along in the house or whatever, the children should always feel comfort. Yes. They should not be affected by that.
Absolutely.
You know, so
totally agree. We gotta get that thing right. Like I said earlier, parenthood is the toughest hood. You know, we don't have a man.
That's the toughest hood.
Yeah. It really is.
Other than relationships, but that's the toughest hood.
It really is. We gotta take it serious.
Yes.
You know, it's a life.
Yes.
This child's gonna grow up and start his own family.
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to say, listen, I'm part of this in you. You know, you will make some mistakes. I know it's not gonna all be from what you saw me do, but I'm here for you.
But you know what? It's a good thing you brought that up because it triggered a thought in my head. These children are watching us.
Absolutely.
They are watching they're watching our personal dynamics with each other as parents. Yeah. So if they see you guys, if they see us treat each other a certain way, disrespect each other, right? Neglect each other, right? They're internalizing all of that.
Absolutely.
That's called dysfunction.
Yep.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're not mature enough or an adult about things, and you're letting all your emotions get in the way, those kids are the ones being affected.
Absolutely.
Hence the reason why we have a lot of damaged adults.
Absolutely.
Have a lot of our issues come from childhood.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
Totally agree. I speak about it so much up here. Ask people questions about that. In reference to that little child that you haven't really tapped into, that you suppress.
Yes.
They rise up.
Yep.
They surface in your conversation. They surface when you're being disrespectful. They surface when you don't know how to handle things. You go back into that little child again, how you handle things as a child. Or
you get a temper tantrum.
You get tantrums, or you just shut down.
Shut down
Some
too.
of us as kids, because I had that issue. I just would go blank.
Yep.
Because that was like my safe space.
Yes.
When something was traumatic.
That's your defense mechanism.
Yeah, I would just
go and hide. Woo.
Somebody hit my mama or something. Either I'm reacting to grab a knife, or it's just this. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not aware of these things, they will show up in your life as an adult. So it would behoove us, to try to learn ourselves and understand. Anger doesn't come from the sky. Your behavior in certain ways doesn't come from the sky. So it would behoove you, to try to figure out where these things come from.
Yes.
And heal. We have to heal.
Yes.
We have to heal so we can grow.
Definitely have to process it. Definitely have to figure it out. And just like my temper, it's a daily thing.
Yeah,
it's a daily. It doesn't happen
overnight. But you're able to work with it because you're aware of it. If you're not aware of it, you're not
absolutely possible.
Yeah,
anything is possible.
Yeah, you got to do the work.
You just have to do the work.
Exactly.
You can't be lazy. You can't just drink your way out of it or smoke your way out of it. Or these things have to be addressed.
Go away.
Because especially if you have little ones, they're going to get affected by it.
It's not going to go away. So do you believe in therapy?
Yes.
Okay. Have you had therapy?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What do you think about that?
It was cool.
Okay.
I actually thought about being a therapist that way too.
Yeah. Listen, go back, shout somebody help. Everybody need help out here. Please. We're procreating and we're broken. Everybody needs help.
I mean, it helped me realize certain habits that I had.
Okay.
With myself.
Okay.
With relationships.
Like your patterns?
Yeah, my patterns, right.
Okay.
It helped me realize certain patterns that I had, and I worked on them,
right.
But, sometimes it's hard because sometimes you could relapse.
Absolutely.
And get back into like that dark space or whatever, but then thanks to close friends and family and stuff, I'm able to talk. Yeah. So that's one thing that I realized as people, we tend to just hold things. Yeah. We don't talk. No. We don't communicate.
Sometimes we're ashamed.
And that's the thing. But if you realize how many people go through the same exact
that's the thing. They're scared to be the first one to say it. Like they're scared to be the first one to say, listen, when I get mad, I start drinking.
Yes.
When everybody gonna be like, me too. But they're afraid to be the first one to say it.
I'm telling you.
It really is a thing. We gotta get past that.
I remember when I was married. And one of my coworkers came to me because we worked somewhere. We were pregnant together with my second. It was my second, her first. And then she left. I left. And then I worked at another building, same company.
Right.
And then she ended up working there years later. So, we connected. Oh, what's up, girl? Hey.
Yeah.
She said to me, I heard that you got divorced. Because my ex-husband and I worked together at the same place.
Gotcha.
So she knew him.
Okay.
He's also a therapist. So she goes, I heard you got divorced. I said, yeah. And I held my head high. Right. I said, yes, I did. Because I already went through it.
Yeah, she's like, I'm half of divorce, honey.
So she goes, she looks around. She comes in closer to me. She goes, Tony, how many times did I pack my bags and I had it in the front door ready to leave my husband? Thank God she's still married today. This happened like maybe 6-7 years ago. Right. She came to me. So I looked around for her privacy and I said, listen, it's okay.
Yeah.
We all go through something.
Yeah.
She goes, it's such a taboo for me to talk about it. My mom tells me not to say anything to anybody about it. I don't even know who to go to. These are the things that I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You cannot, listen.
Help us.
This is the problem that we have we feel like we're too ashamed to talk about things. Find somebody you're close to. Find somebody you can trust.
Yeah.
Okay? And let it all out because it has to come out.
But that's why sometimes you gotta go to a therapist because you feel like there's no one around to trust.
And that's another thing. Therapy is taboo. Yeah, people don't believe in it.
That's the problem.
And teachers don't. You don't believe in therapy? Find somebody.
I think it's becoming more of a thing now. I think people are starting to understand that they do have issues. You know, once you start seeing your pattern, like you mentioned, and you start realizing, like, okay, I was raised feeling like we don't do therapy, but I might need to try this thing because what I got going on ain't working. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm realizing other people are starting to do it and they seem to be better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They seem to be disconnected from me because I might be part of their issue. I might be part of their trigger. Right. And they're getting the help they need. So let me go and see what this therapy thing is about.
Yes.
You know, I think we're starting to grab a hold of it a little more than what we used to before. It was like, it ain't happening. But I think, you know, in reference to social media, things like that, they're making it more of a normalcy.
It's true, because then people seeing it more so, you know, because before, it wasn't really, it wasn't really brought to us. Like, we didn't grow up like that. So now it's being a little bit more accepted. Accepted, and sure. It's good because like that, I felt so bad for her. Yeah, I hugged her so tight.
And we're gonna move on, but picture this, you know. And I don't have my mom anymore. So that's the person that I would like to talk to about things, and I no longer can. So picture being in a marriage and you have your family who's looking at you like, we don't do divorce. And you want to be able to share with your mom, but your mother's the one telling you, you know, don't talk about it. Right. So she was in bondage in so many different ways.
So many different ways.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, you know, be mindful, even though sometimes it can be your family that keeps you in bondage.
Right.
But you have to make a decision that's better for you because it's your life.
Right.
Especially if children are involved. If you understand you're in a toxic situation and it's causing damage within your children, you're going to have to make a decision. And it may be one that no one likes. But you're going to be okay.
Yes.
You're going to be mentally feeling better about yourself. And your kids are probably going to be like, thank God, because I was tired of it.
Right. Right.
So now everybody can get the help that they need in the capacity that they need because of one decision.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm for divorce. Let's be clear.
Right.
I'm just saying what the issues at hand can be.
If it's toxic.
If it's toxic and, you know, there's no let up. You know, there's no let up. You're not praying together. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not meditating. You're not doing the things you need to do.
There's like a full disconnection.
Yes. Full disconnection. Or one is all the way gone. And somebody has to make a decision that's best for themselves, right? You know, and the children. So thank you so much,
especially for yourself, because it's your sanity.
Yeah.
If you're losing it because of a situation that you're in, and you have little ones, how can you function for them? You know. So hey, my sanity is very important to me.
Listen, when I tell you my peace, when I say peace is a new black,
I'm about to say deuces.
My peace is everything. I'm at a place where I don't care if people don't understand it. I'm like, either you're gonna grab a hold and connect, or you're gonna disconnect. Either way, I'm good.
I'm
my
good.
Peace is everything.
Everything, and so should yours. Your peace should be everything.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So now, working out.
Yeah,
girl, you bad.
Thank you. I'm humble with it though, you know, because there's other people doing better than me. You know what I'm saying?
We don't care about the other people.
I'm doing what I have to do for myself.
We don't care about them. We don't see them. We do not care. No, I'm just kidding. No, everybody do your thing. No, seriously, but you know, I've been watching you. You know what I'm saying? I love to work out as well, and I fell off the back. Well, honestly, I had a car accident, and it really.
All right.
I cried a long time.
I get it.
I did not understand.
You need a physical therapist?
I have one. That's why I really want you to come on too, because my physical therapist, I feel like he like saved my life. He was so sweet, so humble. I actually missed him after.
Yes. We become your psychologist too.
I'm telling you,
the
word therapist is in there for a reason.
Everything is combined.
Rooting for me for everything. Yes. How's the book? Yep. Oh, you doing this? Oh, really?
Yes.
We talk.
I'm telling you.
The whole session being
So
I know, you have to have so much gratitude.
Oh, forget it. I have so many stories. Oh, forget it.
Yeah. Give us one.
Okay, so one that stands out. There was a patient I had. He had, so you know what an amputee is?
Yes.
An amputee is when, depending on what area, they kind of cut off your leg. For whatever reason, there's different reasons why. His reason, he chose to get his leg cut off. because he had an infection called cellulitis, and it wasn't getting any better. This man was in his early 70s.
Wow.
Yes, he was
and
in
in
his
his
early
right
70s.
mind, he made a decision?
Yes, he's totally there. 100% married, has kids. Grown kids, obviously. So
Grown kids, obviously.
the reason why he made the decision to cut off his leg, because he wanted to walk his last baby girl down the aisle.
I love that. Ooh.
Lo and behold, who was his therapist?
Hey, that just gave me chills.
And so having an amputee when you don't have that much good, when you don't have good circulation, blood flow to that area, because you need blood for healing.
Right.
Your cells for healing is in your blood. And if you don't have good blood flow to the area, the healing process can take forever.
Right.
So that's what was happening to him. He got it cut off. It was healing. Then it opened up. Oh, it was such a process. So I'm over here rooting for him. He was crying to me. Grown man. Yeah. Not the first grown man to cry. Not the first grown man. Yeah. Crying. Antonia, I don't know what's going on. Listen, I'm like, listen, don't worry. Just push through, push through, push through. I got him walking with a cane, with his prosthetic leg. Yeah. He got discharged. I mean, it wasn't just me though. He also had an occupational therapist. Right. So we worked together with him. Yes, it was a team. And then the nurses, of course. Shout out to the nurses. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. They had to give him his medicine.
Right.
And wrap his leg.
Yeah, absolutely. She's like, that ain't my part.
Come on now. It's a team effort. It really is.
Love this.
So he got discharged. He sent me an email of a video of him walking his daughter down the aisle with no device, no cane. I still get chills. I got chills right now. Shout out to my boy. That's my guy right there. Yes. I can't say any names. Privacy. So many other stories, but that right there sticks out a lot.
That got me here, champ.
Yeah, that right there sticks out.
Amazing. That was amazing.
I had tears in my eyes. I have other stories, man. Other stories. Amazing. Car accidents.
Oh my gosh, that just got me. That has to be so fulfilling. That was super dope. It is. All right. So now, loving what you do, you have your beautiful children, homeowner, you're doing this for 20 years. The workout part, was this just natural to you to go right back into it after you have your children?
Every single child. I went right back to it. 8 weeks. 8 weeks post-op, because I had all 4 C-sections too.
Right. Oh, you did?
All of them were C-sections.
Now, let me ask this. Is this true? Is that like a thing where if you have one, the rest of you have that C-section?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It depends. When you have one C-section, your second one, you can give vaginal birth. Okay. If everything down there at the incision, if everything looks intact, they have to give you an internal ultrasound to check
to see what's happening.
The lining of your uterus. Right. Because the complication could be a ruptured uterus and you could die. Right. So that's why. Okay. But you can have it after the first child. Mm-hmm. So my gynecologist was trying to get me to have it with Brian, with my second child. Yeah. But we were like, because he was already, I was like this, you know? So we opted for the C-section, and thank God we did, because he was big. He was 8 pounds, 12 ounces. So anyway, so you can have a vaginal birth. It's called VBAC, vaginal birth after C-section.
Nice. Okay.
I remember.
I just learned that.
I remember that one. I can't remember NCAA.
I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna text you later on that one. Yo, Antonia, that's hilarious. That is funny. So after every child, 8 weeks after every child,
every single child.
Let me ask you this: what's your diet like, or is it just you just always eat lean, or it's just natural? You just
I am going to be very transparent. And I don't have a company of fitness and working out, so I'm keeping it very real right now.
That's okay. She don't win my line.
I mess up.
What's that mean?
I try to eat healthy. I try to eat lean every single day.
Okay.
For the most part, let me be honest. For the most part, I meal prep. Okay. Right? So I do mostly like protein. I do.
Tell them what that is.
Protein. Your protein you get from like chicken, your fish, or your meats, right? So I usually do like a salmon or whatever your protein is. Sometimes I do curry chickpeas. I'll make some curry chickpeas with protein in the beans too, right? Right. So I could go plant-based, right? So I meal prep. Meal prepping is very, very important for you to try to eat better so you can lose the weight that you want to lose. Because diet, people say, oh, I'm gonna do abs, I want to lose this stomach, I want to lose this stomach. your diet is 85% roughly. 85% comes from what you eat,
right,
or what you don't eat.
yeah,
Right? I love sweets. I love cakes, cupcakes, cookies. Carrot cake is my favorite. Butter pecan ice cream is my favorite ice cream. I like Oreo cookies. Oh, cheese doodles. I like Ruffles chips. I snack almost every night. I'm being transparent. I do have my weaknesses, right? But it's portion control too.
Yeah.
So you have carbs, which is like simple carbs is like white rice, right? Your carbs, when your body metabolizes it, which means breaking it down, when it goes into your intestines and your body starts to break everything down, it breaks it down into smaller molecules, so it could use that for whatever it needs in the body.
Right.
Your carbs turn into glucose, which is sugar. Right. So now glucose is your energy source, one of your energy sources, right? It's the simplest thing that your body could use for energy. So when you eat too much of it, the body's only going to process what it needs.
Right.
If you eat too much of it, guess where that's going? It's going to store somewhere, right? So now the thing about it is when your body runs out of the glucose, it goes to the fat.
Right.
So that's why when you decrease your amount of glucose carbs, when you decrease your amount of carb intake, your body will burn that all, and when it runs out of that, it's going to go to your fat.
Right.
And go into keto.
Yeah.
That's where the keto diet comes
right.
from. It goes to ketosis, I think it's called. So when it goes to the fat, it burns the fat, the energy, because we need energy.
Yes.
We need energy.
I like that.
So that's why it's so important for you to minimize your carbs, simple carbs, carbs in general, and not only that, your sugary stuff. I drank a little bit of soda earlier today.
Sorry.
Most of the time I drink water.
Right.
We're like 67.
Hence why she's still 18 years old after having 4 children in her 30s. I mean, face in a blemish there, hair healthy, skin on point because she drinks water. Just one second. Carry on.
Not only that, water is very good for other reasons too. You understand?
Yeah.
So, the fruit juices, even if you're drinking apple juice and orange juice, you think like, oh, I'm getting my vitamin A, vitamin C. There's a lot of sugar in those things.
Yep.
A lot of sugar, a lot of acid, but a lot of sugar. Yeah. And if you're eating rice, if you're eating breads, now you're drinking juice, you're eating fast food, you got all that trans fat and all that. Let me just mention, I was pre-diabetic. I was diagnosed with pre-diabetes back in 2020, about a year and a half ago. And
this is recent.
Yes.
And you were still fit?
No.
You wasn't that fit
I fell off the wagon.
Wait, what year were you? I'm sorry, we're in 2022. Go ahead.
Yeah. In 2020, I fell off because of the pandemic.
Right.
Just like a whole bunch of other people.
Oh, yes.
I was going to the gym. Then everything got shut down. And then since I was one of the, what they call it? Not the first responders, the essential workers.
Yes, essential workers, yeah. You were still working.
I was at 3 buildings.
Right.
Working in COVID. Directly with the COVID patients.
Right.
So, like, it was tough that year.
So even the depression probably had you eat a certain way as well.
No, I'm
not subconsciously.
Honestly, I don't bring work home with me.
Okay.
The things that happen at work, the things I see, it stays right there.
Yeah, good for you.
I have a really split mind when it comes to that. That I do not let that affect. I do not let because your work is something else too. Click. Your work is tough. Yeah. Your work is your job is tough.
You can't afford to take that home.
You cannot take that home. You see some stuff too.
Yeah, you can't take that home.
So so guess where I was at? People avoid Subways. Sorry, but not sorry. I was eating Subways 3 times a week. Foot long.
She's a spokesperson. She was doing the person. It was like, It's turkey today.
What?
Not
and I'm thinking, yes, about on average 3 times a week.
So average. It's only
It was quick. I was working at night. I was working during the day. I had 3 jobs.
Yeah.
So I did it. A friend of mine sent me a study. Not a study. It was a lawsuit against Subways.
I remember that.
In Europe.
I remember that.
They found out that Subway's bread, the content, it has such a high content of sugar that it was almost equivalent to cake.
Whoa!
And I baked the cake from scratch.
That wasn't the one that.
Oh no! But I baked the cake from scratch. There's a ton of sugar that go in cake.
I know, that's a fact.
I'm like, how much sugar I gotta put in here?
Shit, this is what I'm eating every day in that bread. What? Wow.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Not only that, eating snacks, not really eating properly because I have all this PPE on. I can't really snack and eat the way I should have or wanted to. So
That was a lot.
I went to my yearly checkup. They ran my A1C. A1C is a level that shows you what your glucose levels, the average of your blood sugar in your blood.
Right.
Your blood sugar. Sorry. You should be below a 7. So when you're above a 7, you're considered diabetic.
Right.
But when you're like, I was at 6.7.
Whoa. So you were almost there.
That's why it's called pre-diabetic.
Right. Wow. And you were like, hold it, Joe.
I said, hold
it.
up.
We ain't doing this.
Wait.
I know that's right. She's like, the devil is a liar.
I'm telling you.
What?
And I'm the person who, I've been skinny most of my life. I've been skinny most of my life, right? Yeah. Genetics plays a role too. I'm not, so I'm the person that once I see little cellulite on my legs, I'm going right to the gym. This ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? I need to catch it before I need to be smooth. I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's me.
Yeah.
So once I heard that, I said,
it was gold time. Yeah.
I got to go full.
Yeah.
And I reversed it.
Love that.
I reversed it.
So it can be done.
Yes, I reversed it.
It can be done.
People don't know about 3 million people in the United States per year get diagnosed with pre-diabetes. Diabetes is no joke.
No, that's a fact.
I work with people with diabetes.
Yeah. I've lost friends with diabetes.
Yes.
And I'm only 43.
Yeah, it's no joke.
Very young. The
amputees and stuff, losing limbs, a lot of that comes from diabetes.
Losing limbs, yep.
Yeah.
My mom was one. Most of my family's one. My husband's mom is one. And they make sure they team up to make sure she do what she's got to do because we want her to live.
Yo,
it's serious.
You got to look at your diet. Look at your diet.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. So tell me your thoughts on this because I try to explain to people. Sometimes people who are already thin, people just assume that you're healthy. And it's not true. No,
that's not true.
So when it comes,
I'm a prime example.
Yeah, me too. When it comes down to stuff like, heavier people going to the gym, and the gym being promoted. You got the every year, what is it? The New Year resolution. People like, I'm going to the gym. The gym's already waiting for you. They know you're going to spend your money on a membership that you're never going to come back to. What is your take on detoxing? Because I feel like a lot of times trainers and people don't explain that people have to actually lose some of this. When you're just you're working out on the fat if you're not actually losing it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Can you share something like that?
Well, I've one of my favorite detoxes. I do believe in detox.
Yeah.
There's different types. There's liver cleanse. There's colon cleanse. So what it does is what it says: detoxifying, getting rid of all the toxins that we accumulate over time by eating processed foods and these radicals we get. So I like detox. One of my favorite ones is by JJ. It's called the smoothies. It's a smoothie cleanse, and it's strict for 10 days. But I was able to lose. I lost like 10 pounds in 10 days.
See that?
Because of it.
Yeah.
And it was mostly from the gut.
It's real.
It's mostly from the gut.
You're gonna be in the toilet, but it's not even
that bad.
It wasn't.
Not like that.
Because I heard about
it's not. See, there's different types.
KR's one. Everybody's like, "Cuz is crazy. Like you're always on the toilet."
Yeah. Now you got to be careful with certain ones. Yeah. Like you have to keep in mind, people are trying to sell. right?
Facts.
They're trying to make money,
Right.
so they're selling their brand, right?
Yeah.
You have to be careful with going to the bathroom a lot because you're losing electrolytes.
Say that.
Especially if it's like watery.
Yeah.
You're losing electrolytes, and your
Thank you for
electrolytes,
saying
sodium, potassium. You need that for your heart.
Absolutely.
You need that for your nerves.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're not educated on that, it can cause you a problem. Because even what you're saying, that like, I get colonics. Do you get colonics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get colonics, and they always after they give you something for you. So
You got to drink. You have to replenish
literally right after.
Yes.
So if they're doing that for me right after, and you're continuously pooping, that what she said is definitely an issue.
It's true.
Yeah.
You lose electrolytes faster from going number 2 than vomiting.
Right.
That's why when you have that bug, you drink some Gatorade or something that has
Pedialyte.
electrolyte. Pedialyte is the best.
Pedialyte is the best.
And it replenishes, you start to feel better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that lethargy, that weak feeling and stuff like that, you're losing electrolytes. Right. So but I do believe in cleanses and detox and stuff like that. I think that's.
Have you done your own, like the DIYs ones?
No.
Like the lemon and the lime and stuff like that?
No? Well, I did like DIY. Yes, I'm sorry. I did
do it yourself.
Apple cider. Yeah,
that's what DIY is.
Yeah,
guys, do it yourself.
I did apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
So I did that with like a green tea, a shot of apple cider vinegar, and some lemon.
Nice.
And a lot of water.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then drinking water all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I had to train myself because I hated water. Now I drink it because I'm like, I know it's better for me. So I would literally program myself to not drink anything else at work. I would have this big jug, especially when I work in the office. People come like, you drinking that whole thing? I'm like, I am.
Now let me
wow.
Now let me educate you.
Yeah.
Just like anything else, too much of anything is no good.
No, this is true.
If you drink too much water, then you will dilute your electrolytes. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Where your organs can shut down, you could die.
Oh,
literally. If you drink too much water, so you got to see. You just gotta, like our bodies are so awesome. It's all about balance. It's called homeostasis.
Yeah.
It has to go back to balance. If it notices the cells notice that there's too much water on the outside of the cell and not the inside, osmosis happens. The water will come in. You understand? It has to be balanced.
Right.
So if you drink too much water, you're diluting it. You understand what I'm saying? And then it's not going to work.
That makes sense. So, it all makes sense, people.
So watch for that too.
Definitely. So Miss Antonia Dos Santos, I love her name too.
Thank you.
It has such a little.
My first name means priceless.
Okay.
And my last name is Two Saints.
Love that. That's dope. She was made for greatness. See that? Even her name. Come on in here. Even her name. Let me ask you something.
Yes.
With your locks,
do
they have a meaning? Is there a reason? Is it spiritual?
No.
No,
it's not. It's not spiritual.
How long have you been growing them?
8 years, almost 9. Yeah, I started myself. I maintained it myself. It's more like just for me. It's more like freedom.
I love that.
And
the bars.
And it's like
what? It's more like freedom.
Freedom on low levels, as far as like, I don't got to worry about me having a perm in my hair. I can run out in the rain. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember the last time I ever used an umbrella. I'm just running in there like
I'm good.
And then freedom of like just letting it flow, just letting things just fall off. You understand? Because I don't really style my hair like that.
Right.
I'll twist it, I'll wash it, of course, but styling it, I don't really style. I never lost a lock. You see, some people have locks and they'll lose their hair.
Yeah.
Because they're styling it a lot, putting in ponytails a lot. Yeah. So you're breaking at the roots.
Right.
I let it flow, like how I like to let my thoughts flow.
Yeah,
like
mindset.
How like it's freedom. You know what I'm saying? From the basic reasons all the way to the most
love that.
Spiritual reasons. So there's a little bit of spirituality in there, I thought about cutting them though, but a lot of people told me not to.
Yeah, why would you?
To start over. I miss my natural hair.
You do?
I went natural when I was 18 years old.
You miss it? Wow.
My hair texture, I love it.
Yeah.
My hair texture, yeah. It's like curly and then coarse.
Yeah. That kinky. Mine's like three or four different textures. Child.
Yeah, everybody's. It's different here than here and then in the back. The back is where the kitchen is though. I think that's for everybody.
I had like a little soft on.
I'll tell you like nicest.
The wet is like this.
Yep.
I'm like chopping. I braided up. Like I can't be bothered. Like I'm freaking done.
Yes.
But no, they're absolutely beautiful.
But no,
all these
these
admirers are here.
I love my locks,
Yeah,
though.
they're
I really, really
gorgeous.
do. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I love you.
Thank
You're
you.
stunning. You're stunning. You're a beautiful lady.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, for coming on here. I don't take it lightly. You know what I mean? You couldn't be like, girl, nah.
I know.
I ain't telling you my business.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said yes immediately.
Yes. Because I trust you.
Yeah, so
I respect you a lot.
To appreciate that. You a bookworm?
I love books. I love books.
Give us a book.
Ooh.
Anything you're reading right now?
Yes, I am reading something
now.
Right now, I am reading something called "Getting Out of Your Head."
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember her name. I'm drawing a blank.
Getting Out of Your Head. I love the title.
But it's a little popular right now.
Okay.
But it speaks about how it's religious too. It's a religious book because she's Christian.
Okay.
So she talks a lot about how our thoughts are shaped and molded from our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a feeling of anger, if you have a feeling of sadness, and this is a fact, an emotion can last up to like 90 seconds, but it's your choice to stay there.
Come on here with the bars.
It's your choice to stay in that state.
It's always a choice.
So I can get angry. That's why I love myself. I really do. I really do. I've grown so much as a woman, as a person.
Root for yourself, Antonia.
I love my mind.
Yeah.
I love the way I think.
Yeah.
I have my mistakes. I have my hang-ups, but I love what's in here.
Yeah, girl.
You know what I mean?
And queen.
I'm so open-minded to things. I'm not a very religious person at all, but I'm open to it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I learn things,
right.
From everywhere.
Right.
So your emotions happen, right? Or maybe something someone said to you, like, "Oh, you're ugly," as a kid. You hold on to that. That becomes something in your bag, and you're carrying that for life. If you don't address it,
right?
You believe that. Words are powerful.
Words are powerful,
and they shape they trigger emotions.
They create,
and then your emotions shape your thoughts.
Absolutely.
And if you believe that you're ugly, then you're going to do ugly things, or you're not going to get out there and take the opportunity that's there. You know what I'm saying? Because you're afraid of people looking at you. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone's looking at you. You think you're going to see something ugly. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So I purposely bought that book because I was in my head too much.
Yeah.
I was in my head too much because of things that happened within the past year in my life. So I was in my head too much, blaming myself for this, blaming myself for that, and having all these hang-ups and but again, talking to my father, talking to my close friends, pulled me out of it. Yeah, pulled me out of it. But then I came across this book. I was like, oh.
God be knowing, man.
I'm telling you.
He be knowing.
I believe in God. I believe in God.
Us better than we know ourselves.
I do believe in God.
Everything that I can't wait for you to go back and listen to what you said today. Because everything, it was very, very evident that he loves you. Very, very evident that when things went on, he was like right there.
Oh, always.
Yes,
always.
Me too.
I can name instances where I'm in a rut and I'm like, and all of a sudden a patient. Now we're not supposed to accept gifts from patients. But let me tell you.
They bless you.
They bless me with something and I'm like,
right on time.
Right on. And I'm like,
it's him.
I'm telling you.
So he's all over you, honey.
I'm telling you, listen. So I believe it.
Just keep going. Keep being you because people are watching. And that's the thing. I think I had shared the other day on social media. I said, keep posting. People are watching. Keep sharing your content. People are watching.
Yeah.
Me being on Facebook, seeing you with your workouts. I saw you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now I'm watching. I'm like, look at Antonia. She killing it.
Yes,
she killing it.
It's tough.
Let me get my butt up. All right, let's finish doing the double man.
You know what?
We're going to do some push-ups.
I have to say, the person who helped me out initially, because I was always an athlete, right? So I always loved to be in shape anyway, and I was always slim. So once I started getting a little something, I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? But shout out to Thomas Green, aka Breeze Green.
Breezy
on Facebook.
I don't know him.
You
And I
don't know Thomas?
No. My brother, my whole family clearly knows this person because they support the heck out of him.
Yes.
Like they be tagging him, they working out. I'm like,
I was his.
I'm like, I don't know this
He's
guy.
a personal trainer.
Okay. I see what he is now, but
On the side.
I actually don't know.
He has a profession too, but he's a personal trainer. I was his first client.
Wow.
His very first client.
That's dope.
He's watched me throughout the years after every baby.
He's like, my client pregnant. She'll be back in 9 months.
Yo, people make jokes. I'm in the gym. People make jokes. Yeah, you just gonna get pregnant again. Whatever. How did this happen?
She's like, don't you say a word. Don't you say a word.
You should see me. I literally push people off the seat when they tell me when's baby number 5 coming. What? You better not wish that on me.
He's like, you better watch your mouth to me.
You better bless somebody else who want a baby because it ain't gonna be me. Somebody else want that baby, not me.
But yeah, it's so funny. Every time I'm like, I don't remember him. I don't know him.
No, he's
but
dope.
I know I'm a little older too.
He is dope.
Nah, I'm looking.
He lives in North Carolina,
right?
But he worked. He gave me a meal plan, and he gave me a workout plan, and he helped me things. Like if I couldn't understand what an exercise was, he'll videotape himself doing it and send it to me.
That's a good trainer.
Like
take out the time to do that.
He really.
Shout out to real trainers too.
I'm telling you, he really sparked it in me to really train harder. Right. You understand? Because I was doing a little bit here, and I wasn't working. Yeah. I'm a physical therapist, not a personal trainer. It's a big difference.
Right.
I knew the muscles and what goes here and what they do, you know. But as far as really sculpting and training and
which
sculpting your body, yes,
does what, right,
and eating properly and stuff, he helped me out. I was his first client, but
he's from Hempstead.
He's from Hempstead, yeah. I spoke to him before I got here. I was like, yo, I'm gonna mention you. Is that all right? He was like, yeah, of course.
He's like, put me out there.
Yeah, right. And then he goes, I was like, yo, he was like, yo, when was the first time we did the training thing? I was like, I don't remember. He said, I think it was back in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, Damon was born in 07, and then Brian was born in 2010. So yeah, after Brian, yeah, because I had like the little.
I ain't playing. So I ain't playing with this
body. I mean, now, don't get me wrong. It's 4 C-sections. I have stretch marks. I have loose skin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are self-conscious about their appearance and how they look. But it took me a while to just accept it for what it was because I brought life into the world.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm still self-conscious about it, though. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, my kids see me, they go, what is that? I'm like,
sounds like Prince. Prince be like, Mom. I'm like,
yes.
Get away from me.
So everything else could be tight, right?
Right.
This right here.
It's not. Yeah.
Only surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you do it?
Thought about it, and my answer is no.
Okay.
I thought about it though. I'm not big on. I don't like the fad of body augmentation. Right. I really don't.
Right.
That's me personally.
Yeah.
Especially when I see young girls that in their 20s and 30s doing it.
Yeah, it's not even giving your body time to
like
really
you're
develop.
Not. It's not even. It's like your life is still way ahead of you. Yeah. Like, do you want kids? Yeah. You're doing all this stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they try to be a little more natural with it, with the fat transfer and stuff like that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know, but if it's not for health reasons,
right. Why are we really doing it?
Don't do it.
Yeah.
People die from it.
People are still dying.
People die from it.
People are still dying.
And it's really not, to me, it's not worth it. It's like, for what? I mean, granted, people say they do it to make themselves feel better about themselves. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the reward is a lot better when you work for it.
I know that's a fact. That's why I'm mad with it.
Because I'm in the mirror like this. Yeah. Oh.
That's why I'm mad with it. I'm with you, Antonia. I'm with you.
I'm like,
shout out to my trainer. I ain't seen it in a minute because of my schedule, but I'm working out at home. Be very, very clear.
I'm telling you.
I just paid for the gym of my job literally the day before yesterday. I'm like, I gotta pay out because I've been using y'all gym. Let me do right. Okay?
Right.
It's just $25 for the year because I've been getting it in there. So now, let me do right.
That triggered the thought. Because people ask me, how do I do it with 4 kids, a career?
That was coming next.
Oh, okay, good. When you wake up for work, do you set your alarm for it?
Yeah.
When you come home, you have certain things, a routine thing, right? That you do sometimes. I mean, all right, home is different.
Yeah, I need
but what I'm saying is, you set an alarm for your job, for you to wake up for it. Then throughout the day, you have certain routines that you do throughout the day.
I have alarms for everything almost.
All right.
Literally.
You have to
serious.
make working out and eating right your lifestyle. It has to be a routine in your day.
Add it to your day.
If I show you my phone, I have an alarm for waking up for the gym. I wake up at 4:45 a.m.
Wow.
And you know what it says? Wake the fuck up. That's what it says.
Yes, sir.
It says wake the F up and go to the gym.
Go to the gym. I love it.
Yes,
love it.
that's what it says.
Right.
Snooze. I'm keeping it real.
There are some days.
I'm keeping it real.
Well, you can't make it.
So I go to the gym at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning every day. Love 5 days a week.
Love it.
You have to include it into your routine, your daily routine, or else it's gonna get stuck. Or else you're gonna what happens is life happens. The day goes on and you're like, oh, now I'm tired. I don't feel like going. Your mind is powerful. If your mind is telling you to sit down, you're gonna sit. If your mind tells you to stand up, you're gonna stand up.
Right.
You have to make it a routine.
Love that.
You have to make it a routine.
I wish I could go to the gym.
The hardest thing is to start.
He goes to work so early.
But you got to do what works for you.
No,
for me,
I
have to go in the morning.
Right.
I'm not going to. I did the night thing before. I'm like, I can't. I got to go to sleep. I love my sleep. But I'm a morning person.
Make sure she rests too.
But I'm a morning person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I'm up.
Right.
Sometimes I make breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I have time to do that. You know, sometimes most of the time I don't.
Right.
But it's just you got to make it a routine, and you got to do what works for you.
You got to do what works for you. You got to have the mindset and be serious about it. You know, it's about you. You know what I'm saying? Just like she said, she saw a little thing. She's like, oh no, let's go, let's do it.
No.
After every kid, she was in the daggone gym. So her mindset said, I know what I need to be doing. So let me just get to doing it. So it's all about you. It's all about your mindset.
And it's not just about looking good. It's not just about looking good.
You want to feel good.
You want to feel good. You want to have energy. Oh, people look at me at work. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yo, what's up? Yo. And they know I go to the gym. They go, how do you do it? I'm like, hey.
What are we doing today?
I'm like going down the aisle.
Like this.
Patients being there, wheelchair. I'm like, yo. They be like this. Oh, there goes Antonia.
Here she comes. I'm cracking. I love that. I love that.
How do you do it? I know you just came from the gym.
It's a mindset.
It gives me so much energy.
Yeah.
My energy levels are like this. You know what I mean? So I'm always energetic until about at night.
She's like, when it comes down, it be down. That is hilarious.
Down.
Listen, you're super dope. Like, I'm just
Thank
so
you.
excited for you. What is next?
As far as
what comes to mind? What's next?
Just getting a bigger house. That's my goal right now. I'm already in the steps. That's another book I'm reading. I'm reading another book too. My other books that I'm reading is about homeownership.
Okay.
Now I'm already a homeowner, so you may think like you already own a house. You should know.
There's so much to learn.
Let me tell you the process of owning a home.
Yeah.
I was in tears.
Mm-hmm.
That was no joke.
Yeah.
And they want to know every little thing about your bank account, everything.
Yeah.
And then there's so many things that you have to educate yourself about. Everybody's not meant to be a homeowner. Let me put that out there.
Yeah.
Everyone is not meant to be a homeowner. If you like your apartment, stay there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, thank you for saying that. Because
it's not.
I had to learn that because sometimes we force it or we think it's the normal thing to do. We think when we grow up, we're supposed to own a home. Mm-hmm. But I realized some people are not responsible enough to actually own a home.
Exactly.
So I stopped even talking about it to certain people that are like, I'm like, okay, do your thing. You're different.
Right.
And that's fine.
That's okay.
But I get it.
That's
some
okay.
People really can't.
No.
It's a dub.
Right. Yeah. So that's number one. So I'm reading the book to educate myself on things that I missed out on because it was such a process. Like, all right, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this, but I wasn't educating myself on what to expect, on what to know. I like to go to meetings
and hear
knowing things already and understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. I like to know what's going on. Yeah. What am I signing?
Yeah.
Let me read that.
Yeah.
Hold up. Fix that right there.
Yeah.
I'm not signing that yet. You understand?
You want to educate yourself.
So
I went through that too.
Thank God the process was good.
I had a good attorney. Because he ain't playing no games.
I was about to say, thank God I had the right people on my team.
Yeah, I did too.
And everything worked out smooth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the next time around may not be like that.
The facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what?
There's a lot going on in the industry right now of real estate. There is a lot.
Oh,
everybody's speaking something different. You're on social media. This guru, this real estate guru,
and they're all trying to get paid.
Saying that everybody's trying to get paid, and the recession's coming back, and we're going to have another crash, and you want to be in it right now, and you don't want to be in it right now. Like, it's so much going on, but you want to educate yourself for yourself.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, good for you. We're going to touch the rear now because I'm looking for some other stuff as well.
Yes. Yes.
You know, we got to be smart. You know, that's the one thing she's basically saying. She's educating herself on these things, so she's not ignorant when certain things happen. Mm-hmm. You know, I think a lot of us we get lazy, lackadaisical, and we think just going to social media, listening to people is going to get us through. But you got to go behind what they're saying as well. Even if you have to research
the source.
Yeah, people strategically post.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They post with an intent. So if you just go by what you're seeing, you will be messed up.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go YouTube Academy or whatever, Google, get a book, and educate yourself on these things. You know, it's very, very important. So, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm definitely looking to the books. Yes. I love learning. So I'm like 3 books behind right now. Oh. I get excited about books. I'm like, I gotta get this one too. Oh, such and such wrote a book. Oh my God, I gotta see what it's about. But all it's about education and things I'm actually wanting to get into, or like, of course, read stuff about marriage because I want to be in a healthy marriage.
Right.
You know. Right. You have to go for the things that's important to you.
Yes.
So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Of course.
Time. She got on a hot mic and handled it, baby. Right. She Hempstead. Stop playing out here.
I'm telling you, the step represent
for life.
I'm telling you. Yes.
If you wanted to leave us with something, like somebody just came on the line, like, oh man, I'm supposed to see Antonia's interview and I'm just getting them ahead. It's about to be over. What would you want them to hear you say? What would you leave us with? It could be a quote. It don't have to be yours. Scripture, whatever comes to mind. What would you leave us with?
Whatever you want in your life, at any level, any situation, you have to put work into it. That's everything you could think of in life. You have to put work and effort into what you want or what you need for you to obtain that. Health, relationships, children, career. You have to put work into it so you can obtain what you need. And nothing comes for free. For every gain, you have a loss. So if you think you're winning here and you're losing somewhere else, that's just the way the universe is, That's just life. But keep fighting through, man. Keep fighting.
You heard it here, people. Antonia Dos Santos what's her name again? Priceless.
And
two saints.
Yep.
2 saints.
Yes.
Listen, that word saints is definitely in there because this woman's story, listen, I can't wait for you to go back and listen to all that you shared. Like, you're amazing. And when I tell you, I feel like God loves this woman.
Oh,
thank you. I really hope that she really, really gets that. Like, God loves you. And it's probably why you've been through certain things as well.
I believe
He love us. People be mad, child.
I'm telling you.
Because I swear to God,
I'm
God's favorite, honey. You know what I'm saying? That's how I live my life.
Yep.
So things are gonna happen to you when you're loved by Him. So just continue to shine your light. Continue to come in that job with that good energy.
Yep,
because
absolutely.
You never know who's looking. This might be somebody who's at home hating that they gotta come in. They see you. They like, oh, I feel better. Antonia that came in. All right, it's gonna be a good day.
No, it's true.
So continue to be that light.
I love being that light for people.
Continue to be that light. Even with social media, I know I see you, making jokes and stuff. I'm like, yo, she has such a good sense of humor. I'm like, I can rock out with Antonia one day. Me and her gonna have to hang out. I like being with fun people who got an actual pulse.
Oh man.
So
I got jokes for days.
Yeah. I'm with all of that. So thank you once again. Thank you so much, for accepting my invitation and sharing your amazing story. I know there's more, so I'm excited for you. Stay excited in everything you do, for sure. Stay excited. So.
Yes. Amen.
Antonia Dos Santos on Hot Mic with Lady She. Listen, everybody, make sure. Listen, it's okay for me to have people follow you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can follow me.
Give me your information in chat.
On Facebook, my name is Antonia Dos Santos. I don't have all that.
She's like, I'm myself.
Me, myself.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, you can follow me at Toneface. TONEFACE.
What's that about?
Toneface?
Yeah. She laughed.
When I moved on the hills when I was in middle school.
Okay.
On the desert. Shout out to my desert fam.
Desert. Okay.
So I was about 14 years old or something like that. And there was a few of us, we were chilling. And one of the guys that we were with was giving people nicknames. He looked at me and he said, your name is going to be Toneface. I said, why? He said, Tone because that's short for Antonia, and face because you have a pretty face.
Yes! Come
and
on,
it's stuck since then.
Yes,
and so many people call me Toneface. So people I haven't even grown up with, they just call me Toneface.
They know you as Tone. That is, I love the story behind it.
Yeah, right. Isn't that pretty funny?
At least it wasn't no other.
And I thought I was ugly back then.
See that? Look, listen, words have power. She was like, "Wait, time out. I'm looking like something." Yeah, okay, I am Toneface. Be clear. Wow, love that. That was dope. Shout out to whoever that was.
Yep.
Real talk. Like,
Sean, I remember him.
I
don't know where he is now.
But yeah, follow her. You know, she's sharing her workout journey and the things she's doing. Yeah. Let's continue to root for her for that second house. Hello.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We out here doing big things at one.
Yes, big things at one.
Big things at one. So, you know, shout out to everybody who came with her family, her children, you know, that came to support her.
Thank you.
It's not easy talking in front of people.
No, it isn't. With this bright light in front of you.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. And she did an amazing job. And once again, thank you so much. Make sure you guys subscribe to Hot Michael She Podcast on YouTube. Don't just look at the videos. Subscribe. I'm not going to charge your card or none of that. We ain't doing none of that fugazi nonsense up here. We real about what we doing up here. So hit that subscribe button, share this video, tag somebody that needs to be encouraged because this was very encouraging and very inspiring. So tag somebody. I would love you guys to tag some people who need to know that the difference between a continent and a country.
I'm telling you. You speak African? Girl. Listen, I love my people though. I love y'all. I really do. I really love y'all.
What?
You know?
Not you speak African? Nobody said
There's
that.
over 2,000 languages in the continent of Africa. Okay? Let me tell you. You speak African?
We're going to have to get our education. We're going to have to step it up.
And Egypt is in Africa.
I can't.
Egypt is in Africa.
We're going to have to figure that out because ain't nobody asking about if you speak African. You know, we're going to close out on that note.
You'd be amazed.
We're going to educate ourselves. We're going to be great. Okay?
Let's be great.
Because we're going to educate ourselves. I got to go on that note. Subscribe to Hot Michael She Podcast. We out of here, y'all. Thanks for joining us. Peace.